Hey everybody, good morning.
Hey,
Hey.
Oh my gosh, what a start to this stream.
Yes.
Morning everybody. Welcome
Is
in.
it a good morning?
Dude, it's one of those less water mornings. It's a great morning.
Spit take.
I know nobody's got any context on what that means, but yeah, let's just say that my day started off a little early today, and as a consequence, I'm in one of them moods. So, someone stall for time as I bring up our schedule and things that we're talking about. We're almost there. All right, I stalled long enough. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened last week, what's going on this week, and some things that are coming up. So last week, I did a creative session. So it was starting off as sort of a design creative session. That was sort of my plan, to show you kind of the design process of taking something like a raster image and converting it to a vector character. What it really turned into was an effects frame by frame sort of live stream. So I did some frame by frame fire, showed you a couple ways that I figured out how you could easily create. I'd say easily. It's a time consuming process, but showed you some ways that you can create some frame by frame things and some smoke effects. And then we quickly talked through the design process as well. There's a link to that. I'll drop it in the chat in a minute if you want to go back and watch that. All right, well, that was it for last week. So what's going on this week? Well, Pedro's got a live stream tomorrow, creative session. Pedro, what are you doing for that?
Yes, I'm going to make. I have a cat that I animated a long time ago, and I don't know why in the YouTube comments when I made follow things with the mouse creator session, there were a lot of people asking for the full process of that animation. So I have thought that perhaps it would be interesting to do that, and I'm going to make the cat from the beginning. And I'm going to show how to read the eyes that are not circles, are ovals, and you can do that by using a double constraint, and how to make the head to move with the mouse position. So it has a few tricks, and it's something people is asking. So we are listening, and tomorrow is going to be explained.
good.
So prepared. So
Yeah.
professional.
So you're going to draw the cat, create the rig.
No, I'm not going to draw the cat.
Okay.
The cat is the dragon is going to be done because I think in 1 hour it will be too much. But I'm going to animate it because it has a little idle, so it's like making a little bouncing. And I'm going to read the tail. It has a little movement. It's very simple, but I guess it's because of that. It's this kind of simple thing that looks more, that is more work that it really has.
Yeah.
And I think it's interesting because in the end it's just like a collection of a lot of little tricks that makes like the complexity is made by a little bits of little things.
Well, that is exciting. So I'm guessing same time as usual?
Yes, the same time as today. So
sweet. All right. Well, same time, same bat channel, show up, and if you miss it, the replay will be up on YouTube.
Yes.
So if everything goes according to plan, there is a plan, and if it goes that way, we'll be having a workshop on Thursday. So keep an eye out on Discord. If we have a big feature release, then we're going to have a workshop. If we don't have a big feature release, then we won't have a workshop, and it'll be next week. So just make sure you're following us on Twitter, on Discord, to keep up with all of that stuff. All right, so that was the streaming schedule for last week and this week. So now...
Just a little acceleration, Robert.
What?
It's going to be the best word soccer ever.
Okay. You're not wrong.
Of course.
Yeah, no, many people say this. There are very, very few people who don't say this. It's going to be one of the best workshops ever, so keep an eye out.
Yes.
I appreciate that. I almost forgot. I always mention that, but, you know.
And everyone is saying it.
Dude,
Everyone.
Not everyone. But I will say that the people who aren't saying that, I mean, can you really take their word for it? I don't think so. I think you should show up and find out for yourself. That's what I think. All right, so let's talk about releases from last week. Spoiler alert, there weren't any. But that's okay, because this week we should be having quite a few well, I say quite a few things drop. We should have at least one large feature drop, which if you've been in Discord, you've already seen a preview of it. Are we good to just go ahead and say what it is? Are we just going to...
I don't know.
Okay, say yes or no on 3. 1, 2, 3, yes.
I don't know. Depends.
Yes or no?
It's just
Okay, so we don't have clarification on whether or not we're going to talk about that. That's all right. We should have a big feature dropping this week. So again, keep an eye out on Discord and YouTube and Twitter and all the places, and you'll know exactly when that releases. Other than that, work on text is still being done, and it's moving a lot quicker now. So hopefully in a very soon amount of time. I'm not really sure. I can't even put it on the Sunometer as far as where we're at on it. But we're almost to the point where we get to test it out like big time. I think pretty soon. Soon.
Yeah.
Something like that. So, yeah, work on text is being done, and there's also some other little quality of life features that are being built out as we speak. So hopefully we'll get those to you soon as well. I think that's it for releases. I think it's time to look at some community animations. We got some pretty cool community animations this week. So let's get started with things that we found on the community. Oh, actually, you know what? Before we get into that, we mentioned last week that we might want to do a Rive animation challenge, and some of y'all expressed interest in that. So we are currently working on a plan to get that together, and I think we're going to do that sometime in late June. We'll get you a list of animations. It'll be a week long. So again, keep an eye out on Discord and Twitter, and as soon as we're ready to talk about that and put that out there into the metaverse or whatever verse we're living in right now, we will. Okay.
Yeah.
Community animations. All right, this first one is probably one of my favorite community animations I've ever seen. Mostly because of the art style, and I love the interaction. All right, so this one is I'm Scared of Mouse Hovers by Ito Farvelli. I love the pixel art style and this interaction. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah.
I love the style.
Yeah.
It was like me all last week.
Yeah.
It's like how'd you get video of my my workspace, my face?
I mean, dude, when you signed on at Rive, we put cameras in your house and you didn't know about it. It's in your contract. Look
The question here is how
How? To get the
this
cameras, or
person,
how is this set up?
No, how this person create this animation.
I don't know.
is-
Let's see.
Yeah.
I mean, the animation's cool, but I'm a little concerned with how the cameras were set up. With that's
Oh, don't worry about
more
that.
important. No,
Don't
I'm just
worry-
kidding.
don't worry.
Animation's more important.
Don't worry about that little guy. All right, I think this is it. Here we go. All right,
See
I
what happened. here.
think we have PNG sequences.
Oh yeah.
Yep, PNG sequences. Very cool, and I love that they got it all set up in here.
Magic with solos.
Yep, magical
Yeah.
solos. And did they?
Nice.
Let's see if they did a. I was thinking they were gonna do a.
Yeah, check, check one of these image. It's only because I guess it's different parts. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clever. Yeah.
I wonder if they did any additional animation on top of just the solos, or were they just nope? It's all keyed solos.
Mm.
I love this. This is great.
Yeah.
If you're
Yes.
looking for a really good example of frame by frame, make sure you check this
Yeah.
out. And this one's on the community, so you should be able to find it. All right. Oh, did I give that one a thumbs up? Yeah, I did. I wanted to give that one 2 thumbs up. I just couldn't. I might make an additional account just to do that. Let's see. Next, we've got when I find. Oop. Here we go.
Ooh.
Here's another returning favorite. Got another animation by Pedro. I don't think we showed this
Yay.
off last week.
No, I think no.
It's not interactive, but I really like the hat, the 3D effect on the hat, and the way that you did the jellyfish actually pushing the hat up, where it's never actually sitting on the head.
Yes. The hat is a very easy trick. It's just playing with perspective in the drawing, with moving a little bit the shape with X scale and Y scale and a little bit of deformation, not too much.
Did you do this with a nested artboard? Is it all on the same?
No, it's in the same idle animation. It's very, very easy. For example, the top of the hat, I have an animation of the vectors, the curve, so it makes a little bit more straight when it's down. So you have the effect like it's rotating, but it's just 2D with a few tricks for perspective.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, I like the movement of the hat because you can see that is under the water.
Yeah.
Because the movement is cool.
And I really like the texture on the background and how the light lights that up. And just, it's really nice.
I tried here with, I usually use a gradient, but here I made in Clip Studio, I made with these brushes that look like
Okay.
like real brush. I tried to make like a texture, so you can almost not see it, but it's not just a gradient or a flat color. It has a little bit of something to make the character like has more weight. That it makes sense. Like you feel like when you see cartoons on TV that the background is different, the texture is different, and you feel it different. That effect.
Yeah, I love this animation.
Here, the most important tip here is always put a hat in your character.
True.
That's
I actually don't think you have many animations that don't have a hat.
Yeah.
That's the trick. People only looks at the hat, don't look at the character. So
It's because in Sevilla everybody have a hat because it's too sunny, you know.
yes.
Does your cat have a hat?
What?
Not your actual cat, but the cat that you're going to do on the creative session. Does it have a hat?
I think no. The cat.
No, that cat has not. But cats are different. They are very special animals.
Yeah.
I read this great book one time about a cat and a hat. You know,
I haven't heard of that one.
classic.
I don't remember the name of it, but I know
cat with a hat.
It's not mandatory for cats. The hat.
Yeah, and he was a troublemaker, so I wouldn't trust him. All right, well, we've got another. We've seen this.
But I'm thinking on. Do you remember Tomcat?
Tomcat.
There is a TV show that they live in the street.
Top Cat.
Tomcat. That's it. And
Okay.
and he have a cat. A hat.
A red one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
The only cat cartoon I remember, I think it was called Tomcats, and it was about these cats that flew freaking F-16s all around and stuff. It was, dude, that was a sweet 90s cartoon. If you haven't seen that, I'm sure it's terrible, but dude, it looked great. It was right up there with like Street Sharks and Biker Mice from Mars. That was a cool show.
Cartoons from the 19s is
Yeah.
something
The old,
difficult.
the old Garfield cartoons are great. Like if you go back and watch, like they're
Yes.
just like, yeah, it's good. Good storytelling too.
Man, and theme songs.
He's not
theme
just eating
songs
lasagna the whole
hit
time.
Different. X-Men, Spider-Man,
Oh,
Power Rangers.
X-Men, the animated series theme song, I could blast that all day and I could get so much done. Yes.
All right, that's my. I've used my one singing pass already. So back to community animations. All right, we've seen this person quite a few times. They're always putting out really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Follow them on Twitter. They're always putting out cool stuff. And this is like a little bunny. I don't know. What do you think? Bunny rabbit? Looks like a bunny rabbit to me.
It's bunny rabbit is it's a mouse rabbit.
It's something rabbit.
I think it's a mouse person rabbit.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't. Okay, I'm not actually sure what this is. The tail is cool.
Yeah, I like it.
There was another tweet that they showed how they set up the
Yeah.
eyebrows that did some lighting effects.
Yeah, and it's a clever system that he created. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if we can find that really quick. And this is another Rive animation that actually got implemented.
Yeah, that is in the community. I think
Yeah,
that
this one
yeah.
is. Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
Here's the sketch and
Yeah.
the rig. And here is the rig that they set up for the eyebrows. So if you're looking for some cool tricks, Kirill, yep.
Yeah, this is great. Using like a constraint and one control, move and I think the shadow is not moving. No, the shadow I think
It is. It's
Yes,
I think
it's
it's a
moving, okay.
rotation constraint, but it's
yeah.
the
Yeah.
strength is turned
Yeah.
way down.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's that interesting idea that with one control you move 4 shapes. Like
Yeah.
you move the eyebrows and the shadows.
But it's interesting. I like this. I never use shadow for the eyebrows. I guess depend of the style, no, you want. But here is cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they are floating over the.
Yeah, they're
the
floating
head.
over the face. Yeah.
My eyebrows do that. I think I have shadows.
Mm.
I don't know. I'd have to look. Let's see. What is next? Oh, this one's another one that was in the community. And this is a good example of the tutorials that Michael has done on the face tracking.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I saw that.
Mm.
Now, I really like this one because they've used the lighting on the glasses, and they also have the easing done on the, like, when your mouse stops or when the face stops actually following.
Yeah.
So this is really nice. I don't think we've seen anything by this person before,
I don't remember. Yeah.
and I like the
Very
beard.
nice.
Oh no! Now I need to go listen to some Avril Lavigne after looking at the name there.
Oh no, dude, don't. He was a boy, she was a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? Okay, I'm not going to type that in there. All right, well, great job on this. We'll keep looking out for more from you. Let's see. We've got a couple
The
more
day
to share.
we have sound in Rive is going to be amazing.
Oh
I
man.
can't wait. I can't
I
wait.
can imagine all the rubber animations
With
with
the sounds.
these little sounds
Yeah.
All right,
behind.
so my favorite Flash animation of all time was the. Do y'all remember the singing bass? Like it was like a bass that you could buy, and you'd put it up on your wall, and when you walk by it, it like sings you a
Yeah.
song.
I have one.
You have
There was. Do you?
I don't have it anymore,
Oh.
but I had one growing up. Yeah,
What were they called? Loudmouth bass or something like
something
that?
like that. Yeah.
Well, there was a Flash animation of that bass, and it would sing these different songs, but whatever the song name was, that would happen to the bass. And so there were some songs that were put in there, and it was NSFW, but it was great. It was one of my favorite. Why did I get onto that? Best Flash anime. It doesn't matter. Oh, Avril Lavigne and sound, dude. It would be so fun to make a new loudmouth bass
Oh yeah. Yeah.
interactive whole deal. And I'll sing the songs. It'll be great. All right, so this one is from Jeff. And if you don't follow Jeff on Twitter, you should, because he came up with this wild way to make it to where you could actually like draw in Rive, like as an interaction.
Yeah.
It's
It is
amazing.
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's clever. This idea is clever, and yeah, you can do a lot of things.
And I think, Michael, you've made an example of this. Did I actually put that in? No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what was the other one? Sorry, go for it.
Let me bring it up for a second. Yeah, it's a really neat. It's one of those things that I think I initially asked him if it was done at runtime. It's like, oh no, it's all in the editor. So I'll try and find it. I have a bunch of new files and they're all like the thumbnail has nothing. So I need to find which one it is, but I'll pop that on once I find it.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool little system. We debated how it was done, and then asked Michael once he got onto one of our meetings, and he shared the secret. And Jeff's not here, so I don't know.
I kind of want to. Hopefully, if he's here next week, it would be fun to ask how he has it set up to see if maybe it is different than the way I went about it. But
it's interesting because it's in the editor, everything. I mean, it's like interesting the idea that with the tools we have, you can do that. Because I never thought that you could make like a drawing app inside Rive.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Even the idea of the vectors can be put a square or with curve.
Yeah.
That idea.
You can change that.
Yes.
All right. Well, while Michael's pulling that up, let's look at our last community animation. This one didn't make it into the community, but this is one of the coolest set of interactions I've seen. It was shared on Twitter. Someone new is trying out Rive. I believe it's Emmanuel Colombo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is I think their first Rive animation.
Yeah, I guess it's the first. Yeah.
Yeah, this is super cool. They've got the mouse tracking. They've got where you can click on the different days of the week. It updates the face and the typing speed.
The expression is amazing.
Not only did they do this, but they also implemented it. So if you actually want to play with this interaction, you can go here and play around with it and check it out. It's not in the community, but it's right there. You get to play with it. It's been implemented. So easy. I bet they used a share link on that too.
It's a great idea. It's simple and funny.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I think we can all relate to the general idea. Like,
all right, undo, remove that. I apparently set it up to auto. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, you'd have to reverse the days of the week.
yes, I thought the same. It's like,
Hey, one moment. I have weeks that all days is like Friday, you know? It's on fire.
Yeah.
I like the
Like this.
It's Friday all week. Yep.
Heavy video weeks are Friday all week for sure. Except it's just my microphone on fire. And
it would be nice to have this kind of animation in the state of for example, on Slack or WhatsApp or your state for that day, and you can check, for example, Friday day, and you have the avatar.
Today I feel.
today's
I
a
just
real
love-
Friday, Monday.
On Thursday, I love his key. Like, if you go back, like on Thursday, he's like just deleting. I don't know what he's doing, but it's like
Yeah.
He hates
Like
everything that he
something.
did, so he's got to delete it all.
He's deleting. Yeah,
It's like-
it's true.
Yeah, this was awesome. I hope Emmanuel puts out some more Rive stuff. I'd love to see what
Yeah,
else he
that's so
creates.
good.
Yes.
And you should follow him on Twitter because he's got a lot of other
Yeah.
good. I mean, just animation in general. I think he's an After Effects animator.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll see how his transition from what do you call it? After Effects to Rive goes. Looks like it's going pretty well right now. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right, Michael. Show us.
All right,
the
let's
magic.
let's see if I can remember how I did this. So I think so. Let's just play. So you can drop. So the way I have it set up is it's on click. I think the way Jeff's is set up is that it's kind of like timed. So once you start drawing, it drops them as you're moving the cursor around. I think. But so I have it set up so you can drop like. I got to restart it because I don't have it set to restart. So you can drop these points wherever. And then on the last click, they kind of explode into these little fireworks. And the way I did this is kind of similar to the way I would set up like a drag and drop interaction. So initially when you hover on, so let's turn the, I'm really good at communicating. So when you, so when you enter in the artboard, like I've got a rectangle that everything kind of attaches to. So there's like a pointer move on this hitbox, and then all of these have translation constraints with this group as the target, and so all 6 of them are layered when you're here. And then as you click, let's see, what did I do? Oh yeah, this is a mess. All right, but it's this big trail. So basically, as this place is fired, these hit boxes, these circles, which all have, let's look at what they have. So they've got pointer moves on them too. So there's probably a way to simplify this, but this is what I did. So as you're moving inside of those, the cursor is following them. But once you click on them, then the hitbox scales down and it drops that, basically drops that group there. So it's like I said, it's kind of like a drag and drop, right? So it's basically like they're following here, and then as soon as I click, that hitbox scales down, so it's left wherever I clicked, or wherever that pointer move area shrunk to 0. So yeah, it's I still feel like it's hacky. Like I think there's some ways we could implement like click and drag in a little bit cleaner way. But I think like being able to do it all in the editor is, right now a really neat thing. But I think you do run into some issues with like resetting all this, I think would be tough. And then like if you drop something and you're playing with the strength of things, like it'll go back to wherever it was in design mode. So there's some funny stuff, but just for something like this, it seems to work pretty well. But yeah, that's how I set it up. I don't know if that made sense. I'll maybe do a video and maybe sync with Jeff to see how he set his up. Because I'm pretty curious, but that was kind of how I
think
went about
it's
it.
interesting to ask to Jeff how he did, only to see how he did it.
I do think you're right, though, Michael. I do think it's probably like on pointer down, it just begins to play through a series of animations that turns off some sort of constraint, and then just drops them where it is.
I want to see. I think if you click, or is it when you start moving? Is that, or no? You have to click and then it starts drawing. I'm opening it in the community, his file.
We didn't even share the community file for that.
But I wonder if you just hold it there, like if they all drop in one spot.
That's a good question. By the way,
yes, there's a timer. Yep. Okay, sorry.
Is it on a
at the top? Well, it's just like when you click, there's a
Uh-huh.
timer, like a bar at the top that's so you have to draw within that period of time. So I think you're
Gotcha.
right, Robert. It is like over the course of that timeline, it's dropping, or it's probably scaling those down or bringing the strength down to 0 or something like that. So
We had a question in the chat about questions. If you have a question, feel free to ask at any time. If it's relevant to what we're talking about, we'll cover it then. If it's not, we'll cover it at the end. Unless it's like a quick question we can just knock out. So if you're hanging out, ask away. But this is now I've already used I've actually doubled my quotas for songs today, so I'm not going to sing. But this is a new thing that we've been doing over the past couple of weeks, which is going into the community, finding files that we like, we think that has potential. It just needs a couple little things to get them pushed in the right direction. So we're going to do a little community feedback time. Okay, we did get a quick question. So let's do this really quick. All right, very quick. Please tell me if I can import GIFs and movie alphas into Rive State Machine.
Nope. Not like GIF or move. One thing you can do is import image sequence and use solos to animate that, and then you can use in Steam Machine. But yeah,
no. I do know that there are some folks who like to use that stuff as like movies and stuff like that as a reference. We've talked about making a feature that like you could put a movie in as a template, not as a template, but like as a template with like lower opacity so that you can use it as sort of your reference. But obviously that hasn't landed yet. So if you want something like that, join the Discord, make sure you add in a feature request, and then get your friends and family to upvote it, because that's how we prioritize some of the things that we develop. All right, feedback time. I think, let's see, did I put the link here? I did. So before, I'd just been doing a preview of these animations and then fixing them, and then it just, whenever we're done, it just doesn't exist anymore. What we're going to do this time is actually remix the file. So let me show you the animation that we're going to be working on today, and hopefully we can get it done pretty quick. Here we go. All right, so the first thing that you're going to notice is that this is not actually a rugby player. I think that's one of the things that we need to fix about this. This is a American football player. All right. From what I could tell, they went and checked out one of the old Rive Unplugged videos for the football time animation. Now, just for some context, those videos are probably 2 years old at this point. So there are a few things that have been updated since that we can show you now. So let's go ahead and remix this file. We'll start editing.
A quick question.
Yes.
Why is called football if you play with hands?
You know, I have no idea.
They kicked
I'll ask
the
my
ball.
wife about that, and she would ask the same question. She grew up around,
It's
like,
not
she has
football.
5 brothers, and like she can they watch football all the time, and still it's like, I don't get the downs thing. I'm like, I don't know that I can explain it to you. Anyway,
The rules of football are very, very, very weird, but as are many things in American culture. So I don't know what to tell you. They run with their feet, man. Why else? What else would you do? What do you call it? Handball? Like, I don't know.
We had handball. It's a sport there, balonmano. It's handball, yes.
Isn't that like isn't handball like racquetball, except you play it with your hands?
No, here it's like it's kind of football. It's the same. You have the goals, and it's the same, but you play with the hands. That's because of that we call football to the one we play with the.
It's a mix
Here-
between football and basket.
Yes.
Here
that's
Mm.
they call it football because soccer was taken.
True. Oh my gosh, that's so true. That's so true. Okay. So one of the things I want to fix first on this is the draw order of things. So we've got like legs behind the torso and the hips. This shoulder right here is kind of in front of the body, I guess. So let's see how they have all this set up. I think they're on different bones, and I don't know if they're actually. Yeah, they're not bound and weighted or anything like that. So, all right, we're gonna have to make some custom draw rules here. Let's go with the shoulder pad. If I can get to it. Hello, shoulder pad. I think it's this guy. Yeah. All right. Cool. So draw order. We can create a custom draw rule. Set it to below this. Take this. Draw rule. Set it to below. Please. Where's it at? There we go. Here. Nope. It's got to be a shape. Target this. Make sure it's below. All right. I think that's good. Yep. All right. Now let's do the same thing with the legs. So this, I think all we need to do is move this one to above this guy. And this behind.
Draw rules are the best.
Yes.
I just unmuted to say the exact same thing.
Yay.
They are the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, because because the draw order is tied to the hierarchy, when you put your bones onto a skeleton and then you don't, like, if you're not binding and weighting everything, which you usually should never do, because it gets pretty heavy on the file as far as like the performance goes. You need to use some of these custom draw rules to clean up clean up that rig. But it's pretty quick. You can really do it anytime. Okay, so I think we've got all the draw order stuff fixed up. Oh my goodness. Okay, here's another thing I didn't realize. So the legs are not actually attached to the torso at all. So let's do that. And
That's
maybe
graphic.
Oh, is it?
Oh, I mean, it's detached from his legs are detached from his body. It's graphic.
Yeah, sometimes I use this option that the body is not attached to the legs. Always depend of the animation of or the pose. For example, in the zombie games,
Mhm.
the zombies, the body is separate because the legs move in different way and don't depend in a simple way. So yeah, it depends. Sometimes you need to do that because one part move completely different to the other, or you have more freedom to move the body.
Yes.
But
I-
depend on the animation. Yeah.
I usually have it separated too. I find it easier for me, but it depends of the.
Wow.
Here, the thing is, for example, with the A key constraint, sometimes you can have the body to move free, and as the I key can make the legs adjust, is easier too.
Yeah.
But it depends of them.
Now that's
I
one
think-
of the things that wasn't around when this
Okay.
when this tutorial actually came out. We didn't have IK constraints yet, so you
Oh,
had to
yeah.
animate all
You're
the
right.
bones separately. And I know that they were
Yeah.
going through that because they didn't put the IK in. So let's do that. Put the IK constraints in. So we need to add some groups. And then I'm going to change all of them to target. And then now, so do you guys parent the, I think y'all do it like this, right? Where the toe is the driver. Like it's the parent. So you can rotate like that.
I follow your tutorial, Robert, so I I do it that way.
Do the other way.
Yeah, I normally do too. But sometimes depend of the if I want to animate a walk cycle depends sometimes. But normally I do. I like work that way.
Yeah, I've always done it where I've done it the opposite way, where it's like this.
Yeah.
But I know that you actually control it from here.
Yeah.
I saw Pedro. I think Pedro did that in a creative session, and I was like, oh, that's great. And I think I've done that a few times after that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna actually reverse it. Do it the JC and Pedro way. All right, so now that we have that, let's set up the IK constraint. So boom, IK, target this, and we need to increase the bone count and probably invert the direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my goodness. All right. So we've got draw order stuff that we need to fix. By the way, if there's questions coming in while I'm doing this, feel free to answer those.
Okay.
Should we just? Do you want to do questions now? Then and that way you can fill in the.
Yeah, let's do that. I like that.
Well, you're working hard, and we're all just making dumb jokes.
No, I like that.
This is the fun part. This is the fun part.
I know.
Yes.
That's
I'm never doing a remix, a live.
Why
you
not?
wouldn't.
dude?
You couldn't get me to that if you get me to do that. If you
All right.
gave me a
So here
box of
is
cookies.
your question. So I was wondering if there's an easy way to set up a random animation, like a random blinking of the eyes of a character, for instance. If not, it might be a neat feature for either an input, a random number, or random boolean, or condition type.
I
Maybe-
usually. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go. Maybe using different layers in the state machine. I do that. That's I put the blink on a different layer, and that plays separately from the rest of the animation.
I do the same thing too. I don't know exactly how to get it random. I guess you could like. What could you do?
As the timeline you use has different duration, it
Oh,
occurs at different points. It's like, for example, you have a timeline with 4 seconds or 6 seconds, so it happens every that time, but it occurs in different moments of the year. I'm going to do that tomorrow in the cat, because I have that in the cat, and I usually put just a timeline with 4-6 seconds of duration. So if it starts at some point, but for example, you have a needle, and sometimes happens when the cursor is up or down because the it's not synchronized with the idle animation.
So we don't have an easy way or a direct way to create a random animation. The thing you can do, that Pedro says and Robert, is using the state machine to create in one way, using different layers or different things, and try to create an animation that works sometimes and another not, but no a direct way like this. Yeah.
Now, Laura did actually come up with a really cool strategy for creating random results in a state machine.
Yeah.
Which there's a video on how to do all of that on YouTube. But essentially, you'd have, let's say you use a number input, and then invisible hitboxes over your button that each, when you click on them, would throw a different number into your state machine. So one hitbox would set your state machine to a value, or your input to 1, another would go to 2, and another one go to 3, and you turn them off and on in a looping animation. And so as long as they don't click at the same time over and over and over again, there should be some random results happening. It's a little bit better. Okay. Let's see. Getting culture checked? Nah, not really. I mean, and if it came off that way, I'm sorry. I wouldn't ever call football, soccer in front of a European. Here we go. I'm trying to create a data analytics app with Rive animations. What would be a good starting point? They also asked if they could share a Dribble link in Discord. Please do that. We have it set to where nobody can share links in our chat because we've had problems with random e-girl websites sharing links during a live stream, which is a little awkward. So does anybody have any good pointers for them? Can also bring up Discord, show Discord to take a look at it.
But it's about showing the data in the data visualization with graphics, or it's
I
about that part or the
believe so.
backend
Let's see.
part?
I think this is there. Okay, here's the thing. Hang on. Here's the link if somebody wants to screen share. I'll keep working on this animation as you guys are looking at that. Yeah, it looks like some simple onboarding animations. But in general, I think you're just going to be tying like if you wanted to make a graph, you could tie different points on your graph to different data points. So like if you wanted to make a line graph, you could say, point one's Y value is tied to a certain number. So as the number goes up, that point moves up. And then when it animates, it'll be like you'd animate a trim path. The trim path would animate to a different point. All right. I'll share it real quick. Boop. Okay. Present. Here we go. This. All right. So they want to create this kind of stuff, I think, or these, like that. And this. They're kind of moving pretty quick, but I think you could do something like that. They want to create those animations using the state machine, I believe. Oh, did I not share that?
I think JC made a neat example on.
Yeah, I have some of them. I try to find.
Oh, sorry, JC. No, they just want to make they just want to make the graphics,
Like the
not
whole
graphs.
thing. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe it's scrolling.
I feel like there's been some animations that are kind of like used for onboarding screens in our community, or at least shared on Twitter.
Yeah. I mean, so I think after some clarification, like it doesn't matter, like the data is not, it's a data analytics app, but they're wanting to build something like this animation.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
yeah, I mean, this is just a lot of, I mean, there's no real, I mean, other than some of the flips look kind of complex, but it's just a lot of scaling and moving things off and on the screen, which I know I say that's all it is. It's just that. But I think a lot of this is like the interpolation you use and the timing is pretty important to getting something like this. Yeah, I wonder if there's if you could share like another example, like if it's just like a video, like Zach said, I think there's some examples, but if it's something like as the user's like clicking through, like it's reacting to like input or something like that, that would be a little different. But yeah, this I would probably like storyboard this, something like this out, get all the screens you need, and then you can start doing some basic, animating in and outs and go from there. But
Yeah, it's just the onboarding.
Yeah, so I mean, if you were gonna set up like a state machine to do this, I'm assuming you'd have some sort of trigger that takes you to the next screen, and you would probably build out each screen as a state, and when you go to that state, you just create your animation that things come on, or they slide in, or they slide in and then go into an idle animation. It should be like once you start building some understanding of how the state machine works, I think this kind of thing is pretty straightforward to create.
Yeah. Like with what I'm seeing, it looks like there could be kind of like two different Rive artboards going on at the same time. One would be the actual hero kind of animation. One could be the actual button as its own separate artboard and state machine that you can control with code, or it could all be done in Rive. And then text could be layered on, could be imported, or just coded up in whatever mobile platform you're working in. So yeah, I think there's different ways of going about trying to achieve like an onboarding screen, depending on probably what's going to be in your use case.
Sweet, and maybe we'll do maybe we can make a video on. I think onboarding screens are a use case, and we're starting to make some more specific like tutorial content. So I think eventually, oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm found an example. I don't know if.
Sweet.
Okay, let me.
Go for it.
I think it's this. Okay, one moment, because I lost the file. Okay, here is the file. So, yeah, what I have here is a stroke with different bonds and this control to move the position of these different, I don't know, values. Okay, and let me put this here, and here in this machine, I have different inputs to control the curve, the corners, the thickness, and the position of this white dot. So let me hide the bonds. And I use only one layer and a blend state. In this case, is a direct blend state, because let me mix different animation with different inputs. So I have here the different animations. This neutral, that is the initial position of the and the thickness of the stroke. This animation that controls the corner, the thickness, the curve. This is the curve I create, the shape, and this is the dot, the position of the dot. So when I play the state machine, let me here, when I play the state machine, I can control, for example, the curve, mixing the neutral animation with the curve. So I can create something like this. Then I can change the thickness and create more biggest thing, mixing the neutral with the thickness in this case. And then the corners, let me move this a little bit, oops. This, and the corner, what happened is that the corner now is straight. And this is mixing the neutral with the corner animation. And then the dot, where I can move this dot in the curve. And this is because this dot is a stroke, where I animate the trim path. Here I animate the trim path to create this movement across the stroke. So this is one example that you can create. Oops. Something like this. And yeah.
Sorry, that's the data visualization stuff, but the onboarding screen stuff. I think I have an example of an onboarding screen. I think I did a video on that on YouTube somewhere, but I don't remember if I just did the effects or what I did. Let me. If I can find that, I will reply to your Discord link and share you that stuff so that you can take a look at how I set one up. Let's see. This is a nice comment. Started using Rive 2 weeks ago, and I'm loving it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Glad you're enjoying it. If you need any help, ask on Discord. Oh, another nice comment. Just want to say, I love you all. We love you too.
Yeah, Roman's
Rive has
work's been cool.
Oh, have we shown off some of his stuff on?
Sorry, you can finish reading it. I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. Rive's what else is there to say? I mean, anyways, Rive has been a godsend in bringing my Flutter apps to the next level. Kudos to you all. No, man, kudos to you. I think so. Have you shown? They've shown their work in Discord, right?
On
pretty sure.
Twitter for sure.
Oh yeah, Twitter. Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, we are the all-seeing eyes. We see everything Rive. That's actually the only thing that comes up on my. There's two things that come up on my Twitter feed. The first is Rive stuff, and then the other thing, Rive and animation stuff, and the other thing is fantasy football advice. That's it. I lead a very straightforward life. All right. Well, while we're waiting on more questions, we got 3 minutes, so I'm going to try to burn through this fixes thing, and then if we don't get it into a good spot, then we'll carry it over for next week, because sometimes it gets difficult to find good animations for this. And by the way, if you do an animation and you want us to give you feedback on it or help you do some fixes and stuff, go to Discord, drop it in Discord, be like, hey, anyone, tag one of us and be like, hey, will you guys look at this on the live stream? And
Cool.
Yep.
You said that's on Discord. I can do that.
Yes, you can do that on Discord.
Okay, perfect. That's great.
Prefer Discord to Twitter, but we've seen that the Twitter hack works sometimes. All right, so just to sort of talk about where I've gotten to. Really, all I've done on this is fixed up the rig, so now the legs are working on IK constraints. The one thing that was sort of an issue was that the shoes and the calves were coming detached. So I just added a little bit of weighting in there. The deformations are kind of bad, and that's sort of as a consequence of not really spending a lot of time to get those right. But I would spend some more time messing with the weighting here to make sure that this whole area deforms nicely. But the good thing is that the legs are going to be moving pretty quick during the running animation, so you won't really notice it too much. But you want to take care of that before you start animating. So then I went into the running animation, and one of the things that I see a lot of people do is that they try to move these controls around, and then the result is that you have a bunch of these like X and Y keys. And what you want to do, and this is just my opinion, JC, Pedro, anybody, if you have other ways to do walk cycles and stuff, please tell me I'm being an idiot. The first thing I do is always I'm just focusing on the IK constraint. So I add in the X motion like this, just X, take out the Y keys, and then we'll switch the position like this, and then go back to the beginning like this, and then add easing curves. And typically the curves that I use on the X here are when the foot is pulling straight back, I'm going to use a linear. Wait, hang on. I did the wrong one. That was the wrong one, I think.
Yeah, I didn't used to do it this way, but then y'all told me I should do it this way, and so now I do it this way.
This just makes the walk cycle part just so much easier if you just focus on one attribute at a time.
Yeah.
So all right, so when it's pulling back, it's going linear, and then when it's going forward, it's using some sort of cubic curve. We'll fix that up at the end. So we got the X figured out. We got the speed of that figured out. Now we want to add in the Y motion. So we'll go with the front leg first and say, all right, so from here to the back, it's not going to change the Y position. So I'm just going to key the Y position there. And let's say like here, and then we're going to start lifting it up. So here, and I think like this is where the foot would be at the highest point. So maybe we'll go like here, and then we'll bring it down. So now we have this kind of like loop created. You can do some stuff to adjust the curve of that by offsetting these keys differently. So I think that's okay. And I'm just going to put cubic on all this. This is actually a good time to use the graph editor, but just to kind of give you some tips on how to work through this a little bit. In a little bit more like a procedural way. So, all right, so actually what I'm going to do is duplicate this and then just paste it onto this target. And now they go up at the same time, but that's okay because I'm not going to take all this. There's a lot of rigging things that we could do, and I'll probably spend some time to post a remix of this later, and maybe a little video, or maybe we can just carry this over to next week. Let's say that. I think that's good. Just one quick little tip before we get out of here. All right, so I've pasted that. The legs are going up at the same time, but the great thing is now I can scoot those Y keys back and get them into the position that I want. Oop, maybe we need to come back a little bit more. And then I think the body in motion.
Yeah, the principal problem you have is you depend of the It's difficult to create the movement of the leg when all the body is moving at the same time. Now,
get out of here, brother.
Yeah.
Is anything else moving up, bro? Why are you still going up and down? How did I do that? All right, you just go down and. What is happening? Oh, the whole group is down. Okay. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, cool. We'll add the bounce in later. All right, so now we've got the legs moving in the right motion. We want to clean up those curves, and now we go in and we add the rotation to our feet.
Right now, that's how I walk when I got my coffee. Can't spill it.
All right, so as the foot lifts off the ground, we rotate it back. Then we rotate it forward through here.
Leave it.
No, I'm not doing it.
Leave it that way. No.
Take that out. All right, and then it's going to rotate through. The rotation is... There we go. Something like that, but I need to fix the X keys now. Pull it back.
Yeah.
And then that needs to be the same as this.
Yeah, it's better.
And then actually, I'm going to take this and just offset it. And that way, oh my goodness. There we go. Oh, okay, hang on. We need to move that back some more. There we go. That's a little bit It's a little bit better. All right, and then I'm just gonna duplicate these and put them on the other foot and do the same thing I did before, where I'm gonna put it here. It's gonna look weird until oh my god. It's gonna look weird until I get it adjusted. There we go. All right, and then all these are set to linear. We want to set it to cubic. All right, so that it's going to take me a lot longer than the time that we have to actually get this animation looking right. But those are just some tips on how you can use the IK constraints, how you can set them up, and a more procedural way to work through moving your legs. So move the X axis first, make your character look like they're skating, and then add in the Y motion, and then go back and add the rotation, and then adjust any of your X and Y properties. So I'm going to save this, and we'll work on this again later.
I don't know. I kind of like how it looks now.
No,
It's like
Yeah.
it's like it's hustling to get somewhere.
The great thing about
Stomping.
working remotely is none of you have ever seen me walk. And like, this is, you sure that you didn't use reference from a video of me walking?
No, I mean,
Yeah,
yes, I could've.
it's
I'm not gonna
eerily similar. I don't like it anymore. I'm out.
All right, well, we're gonna go through that again, maybe next week, unless somebody. I'm telling you, this is the new rule. It's actually not a rule; it's just a bylaw. And it's not even a bylaw; it's more of a suggestion, sort of like the speed limit. Like the speed limit's not really a limit; it's more of a suggestion. Post it on Twitter. Tag us if you want us to go through it.
It's like me watch Curb Your Enthusiasm. Like there's an episode where he's stuck in traffic and he's like, nope, you know what? I'm too smart for this. So that's what it reminds me of. That's what speed limits are. That's what all that. I'm too smart for speed limits. Why are you driving so fast? So
I don't
slow?
even want to tell you how the whole speed limits or suggestions thing came up. Another NSFW story from my time way back. Post high school when I was in the military. It was a whole thing. Whatever. Don't even worry about it. Don't even sweat the small stuff. All right. Well, we've got a meeting to attend. Thanks for joining, everybody. Another enjoyable stream. We appreciate y'all hanging out in chatting with us, asking questions. It may not seem like it, but we love when you ask questions. That makes things so much easier. And you never know. There might be somebody sitting out there in the back, like a little nervous about asking questions and things, and you might be asking their questions. So the more questions, the better. Make sure you stay with us on Discord, Twitter, subscribe on YouTube so that you can stay up to date with all of the things. And Juan, you didn't know, but this is a little 5D.
This for a while.
This is the 5D chess move that I play to get the last couple questions out. Yes, absolutely. Ask your question. We always have one last question that comes in.
Oh, hi, Jeff, by the way.
Hi, Jeff. We showed off your drawing.
Came in at the very last minute. Oh, maybe he said
Or
bye.
it was a
Maybe he's
joke.
No. Oh, Surfer X was here too. That's right.
Yes.
Missed that.
I haven't seen you in a while.
Been a while.
Okay. In the state machine, the any state is not really clear. It always starts playing, or I'm in suspense.
Or
Should someone is typing. Yeah.
Okay.
Or what?
So here's the rundown on the any state. So the any state is there so that you can get to the any state or a state that's attached to the any state from any state in your state machine. So a good example of that is let's say Well, okay. So one thing that you can use it for is like character skins. You don't want to create this complex web of character skins. You just want to create a new state for each one. So let's quick demo. Present, share, the editor. Okay, here we go. I'm making a character. This is our character. It's very complex, I know, but just to sort of get the point across. All right, so we're going to make some skins for this character. So we're going to say skin 1, it's going to be gray. Skin 2, let's say skin 2 is it's blue. Okay, and then skin 3, let's
Is
say
gree.
Gree. Okay, gree. It's like the Hulk.
2 is blue.
Yep.
3 is gree.
And then 4 is Spider-Man red.
Okay. Perfect.
All right, so we've got our skins, and let's say on our first layer we have all of the things that make our thing do the thing, like it makes it walk and jump and or button press and hover and whatever. On another layer, we could use well, let me show you this. All right, so without the any state, if we wanted to set up a system that could go through all of the skins, we would have to do something like this. Okay, so I've got all my skins, and now we have to think about this. All right, from skin 1, I need to be able to go to skin 2. From skin 1, I also need to be able to go to 3 and 4. And then from skin 2, I also need to go to 1, 2, and 4, like this. And then from 3, I need to be able to go to 1, 4, and 2. And then we'd have to go in here, and let's say we have a number input. This is the skin number, skin number. Okay, so then we would have to go in and configure all of these different transitions. Instead of doing that, what we can do is say, okay, we've got our skins 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we can hook a single transition up to any of these. All right, and then we'll say when the skin number equals 0, go to skin 1. When skin number equals 1, go to 2. When skin number equals 2, go to 3. I have a problem remembering that convention where it starts on 0 because 0 is not a real number. All right, so now what we can do is go to any of these states that are tied to the any state, regardless of what state we're actually in the state machine. So we can go to 2, we can go back to the first one, we can go to the last one, and you can do this with actions as well. So let me look for if anybody's got any state example. That's
I have.
Perfect. Here we go. Sweet. Oh my gosh! No, don't look at that.
Oh my god. A moment. Here. Okay. This is almost the same example of Robert. Here I have 3 skins: skin 1, skin 2, skin 3, and it's the machine using any state and different values. 0 for the 1 for the skin 2, and 2 for the skin 3. When I hit play, let me hide the bonds. When I change the value, change the skin. And in this case, animation works with the different skins. Another example is this. Oops, let's go. Come on, let's go.
I have one question.
No.
You have to use it only with numbers, right? The any states?
No, it can be
No,
anything.
you can use it with anything.
Yeah, I have an example that I'm looking for right now that shows that off.
Yeah, this example is no skin, it's 3 action. Not 3, no, it's a skin, sorry. It's a skin, but the skin have effect of the character in one way. We have the expert. No, this is the button. We have the expert, that is this character. We have the intermediate, that this character, and the beginner, that this character. The key on this animation is that the character is the same rig, the same shape, but in this different animation, I change the position of the bones and all things. So here, every time I click, you can see how the any state change this state. And in this case, if I'm not wrong, I use number 2 for this input. And this is other more complex, but you can use any state to activate different things that happen while other things happen. For example, in this animation, let me have the bone. In the layer of the lights, when I hit play, I have this light working because I have this option is pressed. Check it. When I remove this, you can see how it changes the idle light. And for example, when I check here in this case is like error that say the state need to be 3. If I change this to 3, change to the light error. So yeah, you can use any state for a lot of things, and always is when you want to change one state to another. This is the simple idea. Yeah.
So I found my example. Let me show this really quick. So all of those have like sort of specific setups in mind where you're using the state machine or the any state to go to a lot of different animations. This is one that I created for a character controller that blends a normal web with the any state. So the state machine is always going to start in the idle animation. And instead of using a number input to change to different animations, we can do things like we can make the character run, and the character's running. And let's say we want to throw a punch. We can set up like I have a couple different animations. So it will go from run. If is running is true, and I use the jab punch input, it'll go through this, which does the little slide. Is running. It'll do the slide into the punch, and same thing with this other one. So you can have really any animation playing, and then go to any of those other animations, and it doesn't have to just be. It doesn't have to just be a number. It can be anything.
Yeah.
All right. Now, that was the 5D chess to get the last question out. This is the official. We're out of here. We're going. We're hitting the dusty trail. So again, Discord. If you have more questions, hit us up there. Go to the help thread. Put it in the help thread. That makes it easier for us to find your help requests. Putting it in general clogs general up. So if you could put it in as a help request, that would be great. Other than that, anybody else got any closing thoughts, closing words, closing opinions?
Have a good day.
Yeah. Have a good day is nice. And
Yeah, I agree. Have a good day, everyone.
Good night.
Everyone in here too. Y'all all have good days as well.
yep.
All right. Well, we will talk to y'all next week all together. Pedro's live streams tomorrow. Keep an eye out on Twitter and Discord. If we have a feature release, we're going to have a workshop on Thursday. So, yeah, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 How do I do this? Oh, yeah, here it is.